Many programs stay subconscious, even though they shape your daily life. I saw quite some programs with women, for example, having an ingrained sense that their survival depends on pleasing authority figures, parents, teachers, partners, bosses. It is, in a way, a slave program. They feel unsafe, for instance, when they're not liked, even when the evidence shows they are safe. This internalized program can keep them dependent on external validation, and it will limit their sense of autonomy. Men often carry mirrored patterns. I saw in my practice that some men believe they cannot be a good father, for instance, because showing responsibility is risky, because their internalized programs associate responsibility with danger and with guilt. They might completely avoid connection, accountability, and intimacy as a result. These programs operate beneath the surface, dictating choices in relationships, career, and everyday interactions. None of these programs are wrong. They were designed with specific reasons to help you have certain experiences, to help you survive or feel safe, even if they now limit you. The first step is noticing the pattern, the subtle triggers, the repeated choices, the internal reactions. Once observed, you can begin to consciously rewrite them. Awareness is the doorway to freedom from old limiting programs. Even when we become aware of our programs, it is easy to underestimate how deep they go. Because underneath most of them lies one unspoken fear. If I don't behave in the right way, I will lose love, approval, being seen and being heard, etc. And if I lose those, I will cease to exist. That fear shapes everything. It is what drives a woman to please and overgive. It is what makes a man withdraw, afraid of failing or being blamed. It is what makes entire societies surrender their freedom in exchange for an illusion of safety. Humanity has turned this fear into structure, into systems, institutions, and norms, all designed to protect us from loss, from risk, from uncertainty. But in truth, what we call safety is often the externalization of internal insecurity. We insure our homes, our health, our future, not because life demands it, but because our programs whisper that we wouldn't survive without a safety net. We go to the hospital or the dentist, often handing over our body and our trust as if someone else outside of us must fix what we ourselves have lost connection with. We do what everyone around us does, even when it feels off. We send our children to school because that is what good parents do, even if the child's whole being resists it. We watch the shows everyone talks about, laugh at the same jokes, stay polite in conversations we don't enjoy, because belonging feels safer than truth. We follow rules and authorities, not because they are wise, but because deep down we believe we have no worth or right to exist without their approval. So the pattern repeats. The personal program becomes the collective one. The unconscious child becomes the obedient citizen. And all of it starts with that small vibration, fear of non-being, fear of non-existence, and the belief that existence must be earned. But true existence does not need proof. It does not depend on how others see you, and nor on how perfectly you play your role. It simply is. And the moment that you begin to see that clearly, the structure of control, both inner and outer, begins to dissolve. Awareness is the first step, again. And then comes remembering your original design, the part of you that never needed to earn its place here. It's the level of your being that was whole before the first program was ever installed, where existence itself is not a reward, but a natural state of consciousness. From that level, life does not need to be managed or fixed. It unfolds. Love is not something you seek, it is what you are made of. Freedom is not rebellion, it is the remembrance of your true nature. And yes, as the programs dissolve, it can feel like reality itself is disappearing. Because what falls away is everything you thought made you real. Your identity, your stories, your rules for belonging. But beyond that collapse lies what was always there, the quiet awareness that never left, the consciousness that shaped you, played through you, and now calls you home. That is freedom. Not escape, but embodiment of truth. Not the end of reality, but the beginning of seeing it as it truly is.